talking about gear. So guys, today I want to talk to you about the gear that I've accumulated over, let's say, a year. My first ever camera was a Nikon D3500, which is very similar to this camera here. This is a Nikon D5500 with the flippy screen. My 3500 didn't have a flippy screen, but it's relatively the same thing. I started with the kit lens. I got this camera thinking that it was going to be perfect for me. I got it as a gift from my father, but it didn't have the low light sensitivity. And so I decided to buy a different camera, which is the Nikon D7500. Now this camera worked with me for probably about 3 or 4 months. I spent about $700 on it. It was a great buy. I was making a video. It got super wet. Well, not super wet, it got drizzled on, but it still messed up completely. So it ended up breaking and it doesn't work anymore. That forced me to go back to my Nikon D3500. So what I decided was I would upgrade the lens. So this lens here is a 17 to 50 millimeter f2.8 lens, which is a super helpful lens, especially for, it's very versatile when vlogging or shooting portraits, things like that. So I was very excited to get this lens for the camera, and I didn't really think I needed anything else after that. I thought I was pretty much set. Now, later on, I got the stupid idea that I didn't look serious enough with a little camera like this, right? So I didn't take myself seriously, and I didn't think that any clients or any models take me serious with a camera as small as that. So I decided to get the Sony a7 III. I really jumped into this passion head first. I got really excited about it, and so I bought the Sony thinking that it was gonna be everything and it was gonna help me with low light performance and everything, and for once I was right. The Sony a7 III is incredible. It is the jack of all trades, and it helps me with video, photos, things like that. It's amazing. It's an amazing camera. Once I started with the Sony a7 III, I definitely had to grab some lenses with it as well. So the first lens I got was a 50 millimeter f1.8 lens. Super awesome lens, pretty basic, but it was really helpful. This is probably the lens that I've used most for my portraiture and things like that. I really like this lens. Then later on, I decided to invest in an 85 millimeter lens, which is a little bit tighter of a focal length, but I'll be honest, I haven't used this lens too much. I probably need to bring it out more. The reason being is because it's a little too tight for my taste. I like being able to get a little bit of more, a few more like environmental elements in my shots. So things like, I don't know, I just don't use it very often. It's just not something I use consistently. When I said that I wanted to be a little more serious, I wanted to be taken a little more serious. So I had the Sony body and I had the 50 millimeter lens. And all I needed was, I still didn't take myself seriously, as crazy as that sounds. So what I did was I bought a battery grip. So I made it a little bit fatter, a little bit more, I guess, robust or stronger looking. It looks badass now. Really, the last thing we're gonna talk about today is the Joby GorillaPod. So I have a lot to gripe about for this tripod. Not particularly for any reason, but like, it has the ball head, super helpful. You can wrap it around a tree, you know, you can spread it out. It's just this here, this is really annoying. To stand it up is super annoying. And then like, if you want to vlog with it, you have to bend the legs and then like stick it out like this, and it's a little annoying. Definitely not, in my opinion, not really the best deal. So what I ended up buying was the switch pod. It is super cool. First of all, that's super entertaining. I could do this all day. Like I could literally open this up and close it all day. Super fun to use. The only thing I have a problem with the SwitchPod is that it doesn't have a ball head on it. But if you have a Joby GorillaPod 5K, like the 5K unit, you can get the ball head and you can screw it on to the top of the SwitchPod, and now you have a SwitchPod with a ball head, and then you have the tripod set up just right. Perfect. It's super helpful. It gets the job done. Works out great. Typically my setup for vlogging is pretty much gonna look like this. And there you go. So you got the Sony a7 III with the Video Mic Go, although I do have the Video Mic Pro, which is on top of the camera that I'm filming with right now, which is the Nikon D5500. And then you have the SwitchPod. Beep. I love this setup, super comfy. However, with the Video Mic Pro, it does attract a lot of attention. So whenever you're vlogging out on the street, if you don't want to attract attention, don't take the Video Mic Pro because it's humongous and it looks like the Goodyear blimp on top of your camera. So you can also use this one. Pretty good, pretty similar in audio quality, but I prefer the Video Mic Pro. I don't really care about people seeing the Goodyear blimp on my camera. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I said that twice, and I'll see you